now we're going to get into our do while loop, and what you need to do is specify a variable first. So we're going to call this do while val to be extra specific so you guys can see exactly what's going on. And we're going to initialize this variable to 0. And then we're going to start off with our do keyword. And the cool thing about this loop is that it will run whether or not it's true or false, meaning whether the condition is true or false or not, because the condition is going to be down here at the end. And to specify our condition, we're going to type while, then our parentheses, and we want to type our do while value, which again is equal to 0. Then we want to run this loop for when our do while loop is less than array1.length, and again our array1.length is equal to 2. Now we want to declare a brief variable called text, and we want to make this equal to this loop has run, and then we want to specify our do while value here. But again, we need to put this in parentheses to avoid any issues, because what we need to do is actually add 1 to this, because again our do while value is 0, so it wouldn't make sense if it says this loop has run 0 times. So that's all we're doing here, and then we're going to specify times here like so. Now what we want to do is console.log out our text, and again you want to be sure that you increment your do while value here, because if you do not, you're going to get into an infinite loop, and again it's going to crash your browser and it's not going to work the way you expected it to work. So now if we refresh our page, it's going to say this loop has run 1 times, this loop has run 2 times. So what's happening here is your do while loop is going to run right off the bat whether your condition is true or false or not, and then it's going to check your condition, and when it gets down here it will not run again if this condition is false. But the do while loop will always run at least 1 time even if your condition is false. Now I want to show you guys how you can actually display your array values. What you can do is use your array1 here, and then what you want to do is specify your do while value to actually specify your index here. So it's going to start at 0, which is going to be first loop here. Now if we go ahead and save this, you're going to see that it displays first loop and second loop, which are our respective values in our array going through each loop. So your line of code is going to run 1 time and then 2 times, because that's the way we have our conditions set. Once this gets to 2, 2 is not less than 2, so it's not going to run a 3rd time here. But now let's say we just throw something in here random. So if we make do while equal to 3, 3 is obviously not less than our array1.length, which is 2. But what's going to happen here once we save, you're going to notice here is that our code still runs, and it says this loop has run 4 times, simply because our do while value is now 3, and 3 plus 1 is 4. So this is running 1 time even though our condition is false. But then once it gets to our condition and checks that, it will not run again. This is useful in certain circumstances, so it's good to learn it now. Let us know if you guys have any questions about the do while loop, and we would be happy to help you out.
Click the card above to see what happens next.